welcome back to Just Fact Sports Podcast. Me and Beanz here again today, but as you can see, we got a special guest, our teammate. As we all know, we call him Beanz. So everybody welcome Beanz to the show this week.
Yes, sir.
What's up, guys?
So we're going to jump right into it again this week. Everybody's getting excited for an NBA return, but some players have their doubts about if they want to return or not, and that's very reasonable. So we're going to start out, we're just going to throw some of these ideas out here, and we're going to let you know how we feel about each one. So starting out, as you know, they're going to be playing in the bubble in Orlando. And so the NBA, in order to limit who comes in and comes out and to prevent players from getting the coronavirus, they're like forcing the players to stay in that bubble and not leave. And if the players leave, they're going to be subject to a 10-day quarantine. So how do you guys feel about that? Staying in Orlando for up to 80 days at the resort and having to basically do nothing but basketball.
I remember leaving Millsaps in mid-March for spring break.
Yeah.
That was 80 days ago. So being in quarantine in Orlando just playing basketball for 80 days, I can't do it, bro. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
What about you, Ben?
I think they're asking the players for too much. It's like you telling somebody they physically can't do anything else but play basketball. They can't really see nobody else other than their family the first couple of weeks for it. Like you said, 80 days. Like that's pretty insane if you think about it. That's 80 days of nothing.
You're right, but at the end of the day, I think like these guys are professionals, so it's kind of a sacrifice, I guess. Like especially if you want that ring.
Yeah.
So
you get paid millions to do it, bro.
Exactly. And I mean, I think it could be some very high quality Twitch streams that come out of this. So we just gonna have to see how that ends up playing out.
Yeah.
So.
But like if you look at it though, if they do have a season and all, like what are you gonna do like with the players? Because there's gonna be players that's gonna be like, forget it, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see somebody. I'm gonna go do something else. So like 10-day quarantine, but like so you have like something to do with the teams. Like you just really giving up on your team because you're gonna have players that's gonna do it. So how you feel about that?
I mean, like I just feel like if a player lead a team, like to be honest, bro, like. I see what y'all saying. 80 days is a long time, especially to do nothing but basketball, games, practice, watch other games. But I think, like, if somebody leaves, they just got to – because, like, if you quarantine it for 10 days, you're not practicing, you're not playing in the games, that's punishment enough.
Yeah.
I think that's punishment enough.
Like, what if it was, like, Game 7 of Western Conference Finals and LeBron just get corona, bro? What do you do? What do you do if he get corona? Do you stop? No. It's LeBron.
You got to give it to the whole league.
It's LeBron. So you just treat it like an injury?
Yeah, you just treat it like an injury.
I don't think the NBA does that, bro. For LeBron James, no.
Yes,
Kawhi Leonard, no.
Yes.
I think they stop the league and say, yeah, too many people going to get corona. They just going to stop.
But Game 7 of the finals and LeBron the only one that got it. Treat it like an ACL, but he's done. He's done. Call up the next guy. Danny Green, it's your turn to get buckets, bro. Danny Green, get your buckets.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, so second point of contention, a lot of the young players, a lot of the 2017 draftees, the Jason Tatums, the De'Aaron Foxes, the Kyle Kuzmas, the Donovan Mitchells, they're concerned about their long-term health if they come back and play in this in Orlando. So they want some kind of insurance policy that would protect them like from a long-term injury or potentially like career-altering injury in case they get hurt in Orlando. Because all of these 2017 guys, they're going to be up for an extension at the end of the season. So what do you think the NBA needs to do to protect these guys and, make sure they get their money that they deserve?
I mean, at that point, it's just like playing Russian roulette. If you go play, then just don't. I mean, I know it's easier said than done. Just don't get hurt, though. Yeah. So I would say just perform. If you don't want to go, you don't have to go. Ain't nobody stopping them from going. So, I mean, it's just make the choice that you think is best. I mean, if you think you might get hurt, don't go.
Yeah. And I think, like, before we move, like, before you put your piece in, like, you just got to think about they've been off for over 3 months. Yeah. You're going to come in, you're going to have, like, an intense training camp for 2 weeks, and then you're going to get into, like, real games.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a lot of pressure to put on your body, like, after basically doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, not being in NBA shape. So, what do you think about it?
I think the NBA, if they're going to force the players to come back, I think they should, meet their wishes. If they want an insurance policy, I feel like that's what they should get. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, the NBA only doing this to finish making their money. So, like, if you get to make your money, why not ensure your players so they can come back with knowing that they have nothing to lose if something was to go wrong.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, nothing to lose. I think they need some kind of insurance policy in place to make sure, like, everybody's playing to their peak, you know, putting the best product out there on the court. And especially, like, with these young guys, like, these are the future faces of the league. So you want to, you know, make sure you do anything you can to stay in that good standing. And so we're going to move to the last point of contention with the players, spearheaded by the one and only Kyrie Irving. I like to add, it's not just Kyrie. He's just at the head of it. Other guys like Dwight Howard and Steven Jackson have chimed in too. And they believe that the NBA shouldn't return in order to prevent people from being distracted of the social issues going on. Because, like, as you know, the recent killings of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor, like, there's outrage all over the nation. And these guys don't want the NBA to come back so that everybody can focus their attention on, you know, fixing these issues in America. So what do you guys think about these players potentially, you know, sitting out?
I mean, I feel as if Kyrie, Steven Jackson, I respect his, like, how he feels about it. But with Kyrie, I feel like he's one of those people that's just easily influenced. So if you told Kyrie, all right, don't drink any more water because it's bad for you, and you gave him, like, 2, like, BS reasons not to drink water, he would go along with it. Like, he thinks the world is flat, bro. He thinks Earth is flat, bro. It's like, Kyrie, you're weird, bro. I mean, he can hoop, don't get me wrong, but he's weird.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If it wasn't Kyrie who, like, initiated this and was spearheading, like, players not returning, do you think it would have been received any differently? Like, let's say, like, instead of Kyrie, it was Kevin Durant that was like, hey, we can't come back right now.
He weird too, bro.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on, time out. We gotta run it back then. What if it was James Harden? James Harden just comes out and says, you know, we shouldn't come back. We should seize the moment and keep the nation's attention focused on social issues.
I feel like worldwide it would be taken more seriously because Kyrie, he's the, like, the VP of the NBA. So it's just like, if they don't take it seriously with the vice president saying all of this, then how can you take it seriously when somebody else says it? But I think, me personally, I think I might take it a little bit. I take it seriously anyways. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, Kyrie saying it. Kyrie, it's just like, I don't know.
It just gets brushed off because it's Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it feels. Because, like, he's just always been, like, a negative person. Like, this whole time he's been in the NBA. Since he's been with LeBron, he's been perceived in a negative light. Maybe he's not a bad person or anything. He's weird. That's it.
You're right. So what do you think? What do you think about Kyrie, you know, urging the players to seize the moment and fight the issue?
I mean, I think as a person, it's the right decision to make. But I just can't help but think about Pat Bell's tweet. Yeah. And he was just like, if LeBron said we playing, so I'm kind of leaning on that. Like, I think, it's cool you doing this, but at the end of the day, like, you probably going to have to suit up and play the game. If LeBron saying you playing, like, you don't have an option, honestly.
And, like, one thing I also like to throw in, like, Kyrie isn't even going to be playing. He just had the shoulder surgery, so he's not going to be playing.
Yeah, bro.
But here's how I look at it. Like, basically, I kind of think of it, the NBA as like a concert. You know what I'm saying? The fans going to tune in regardless. So, like, if the fans going to tune in and y'all protest, like, not even protest, but, like, make y'all points known.
Yeah, use your platform.
Exactly. Use your platform and talk about what's going on. Like, you can still affect social change without not returning to the NBA. Because you got to think about, like, not returning could be detrimental for the future of the NBA.
Yeah.
Like if the season shuts down, the league could have a force majeure, and then, like, basically they tear the CBA up, and the players would have to negotiate a new CBA, and that could lead to a lockdown, and that could, like, lead to, like, changes in how much players make.
Yeah.
Because, like, right now the league technically has all of the leverage in terms of, like, you know, we're only making this much. We need you guys to play type stuff. And so I just think it's important that the players come back and play and just leave the door open for the future players that are coming into the league.
Yeah.
Really.
So with all of this taking part, with all of these taken into consideration, if y'all in the NBA, are y'all coming to Orlando to play?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm going just for the fact of I feel as if it's something that I would want to do. Just me personally, I would go.
Yeah.
If like my team was like they don't want to go, I'd be fine with that. I'd be like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to convince them not to go or anything. Just be like, okay, I just would go.
What about you, Ben?
Yeah, I'm going to play. I mean, I think like you said, like you got the platform to still make a change while playing.
Yeah.
So like you saying no, I don't see the difference. It really makes I go play.
Yeah. And for me, I'm most definitely going to play. And like I think like also when we're talking about like players considering not coming back, you got to think about not the superstars, but the like bottom of the roster guys. You know what I'm saying?
True.
The like Bruno Caboclos, like those players aren't making the multi-millions, so they need that check. Because if you don't go to Orlando, you're not getting paid.
Yeah.
And so, like I just think about them and like they need that money. They finna go hoop regardless. Because like I think C.J. McCollum said like he would estimate that 80% of the league like living paycheck to paycheck. And, like, that's crazy to think about, but...
It's crazy.
About to have Zach Collins NBA Finals MVP, bro.
Bro.
I heard it first.
I don't think that happens, bro. Because when LeBron's, like, leading the return for everybody to play, like Pat Bev said, most people finna come hoop.
Exactly.
So, we're going to flip the page over, and we're going to talk about a little NFL topic for the week, and that's going to be Dalvin Cook's holdout. So, I'm going to start this out by just saying Dalvin Cook scheduled only to make $1.3 million next season. He's still on his rookie deal, so he's not holding out because that's the amount he's making next year. He's holding out because he felt disrespected by the Vikings' original offer in terms of an extension. And it's also important to note he's not asking for that CMC $16 million a year, but he wants something that shows him love. So, what do you think about his holdout?
I mean, he definitely deserves to get paid. I would give him like around 11 to 13 million mark, somewhere around there. I would pay him. He's only 24 right now. That's still pretty young. I would give him. I would pay him for 4 years. 3 years. 3 years. It's like running backs don't last, bro. It's just that's
the thing with Dalvin Cook. He has injury concerns. Over his first 2 seasons, he missed 17 games.
Right. Do you want to give him $40 million for over 3 years? Would you do that?
I mean, I want, like, if I'm Minnesota, I'm in the front office, I'm looking at it. I'm like, we got Dalvin Cook. He just ran for over 1,000. Had over 500 receiving yards to go with that.
Yeah.
Is he replaceable? So then I look at my other backs on the roster. I got Alexander Madison and Mike Boone.
I mean, you could draft the back, though. That's the thing.
That is the thing, because you think about it, the first running back didn't come off the board till pick 31, 32, Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the Chiefs. And then the second overall running back was J.K. Dobbins, who went 55.
Yeah, that's 2 solid backs.
Exactly.
It's like you get Travis Etienne in the late first round next
year. Yeah, I agree with that, but you need a back for this year. And if he holds out...
He's not going to hold out, though. I don't think he is.
I think it's a possibility. Because think about the successful holdouts. Think about Le'Veon and Zeke holding out and the money they got.
Is he as good as them?
In my opinion, I think Dalvin Cook is a top 5 back in the league. Because I think you got to go, so top 3.
Yeah.
You got to go Saquon. Saquon's got to be in there. Christian McCaffrey's got to be in there. Zeke's got to be in there.
Okay.
And then those last 2 spots.
Toss-ups.
Derrick Henry.
So, yeah, top 4 is solid. And
then, exactly, top 4 is solid. And then 5, you could go Le'Veon. You could go Dalvin Cook. You could,
I think he has potential to be a top 5 running back in the league.
He's top 10.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely top 10.
I think the only thing that's holding him away from being top 5 is he has to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can agree.
Like I said, he missed 17 games his first 2 seasons. He runs for the 1,000 this year. If he can put up another season like this, he's most definitely, I think he cements himself in that top 7 to top 5.
But then it's just like, how much longer can he do that, though?
Yeah.
Who knows? It could be one more year. It could be one more game. Who knows? That was so sketchy, bro.
Because you're right. Like running back is an easily replaceable position. Like, you look around the league, and it's not even, like, a lot of first-round talent in starting running backs.
Yeah.
Like, you think about, like, Chris Carson in the Seahawks. He was drafted 249 overall. Yeah. Think about Raheem Mostert, who just led the 49ers undrafted free agent. Think about Philip Lindsay, starter for the Broncos, undrafted free agent. Think about Austin Eckler, the now starter for the Chargers, undrafted free agent. Like, it's not to say, like, any guy out the street can just come in and play running back, but it's to say, like,
you can be replaced.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's about who got the juice at what time.
Exactly. And not even what time. Like, seems like these guys have had have had pretty solid careers. So I just want to know, like, y'all, because what I'm finna do for y'all is I'm finna go down top 5 highest paid running backs.
Yeah.
And we got to remember Saquon and Fournette is still on their rookie deals too. And so Christian McCaffrey making $16 million a year, Zeke making $15 million a year, Le'Veon making $13.1 million a year, David Johnson, the washed up David Johnson, is making $13 million a year, and Derrick Henry's making $10.3 million a year on the franchise tag. So do you think he deserves to be, paid up there with those guys?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you think you're a Super Bowl contender, I think you pay him.
Yeah.
But
I think that's the key point.
If you like a mediocre team, 8-8, maybe 5, 8-8 or lower, it's just like don't sign up to that. That's a waste of your money, waste of your time. You just giving him free money at that point. So if you're a Super Bowl contender or a playoff contender, which the Vikings are, you might as well go ahead and pay him, see how it works out. If anything, you get rid of him. That's what the Rams did to Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
So if you think you're a Super Bowl contender, do it.
I think paying Dalvin Cook is going to hinder their Super Bowl chances in the future. Think about how much money they just invested in Kirk Cousins. Fully guaranteed, too.
He deserved it, though.
He just won his first big game.
He do. He deserved it, bro.
He just won his first big game.
He make the playoffs every year. You can't hate on him, man. Yes, he do. What you mean? Kirk Cousins
his first season in Minnesota, they did make the playoffs.
Man, bro, he's the man.
This season, he made the playoffs. He only made the playoffs once with the Redskins.
He's a top 10 quarterback.
Swear to God.
Kirk Cousins.
Swear to God.
Is a top 10 quarterback, bro.
Okay, he's a top 10 quarterback with teams when he plays teams that have a below 500 record. I agree with that.
All right.
But when they play the big
game,
bro,
he's not there when it matters.
Yes, he is. What do you mean?
Oh, he was there when it mattered. He was there when it mattered against the Saints.
Yeah.
But next week against the 49ers,
man,
that offense only put up 3 points.
That wasn't his fault, though.
Whose fault was
it? The San Francisco 49ers front four.
Oh, you can't.
Oh, my goodness, bro.
Mahomes struggled against them. You're a top 10 quarterback in the league, remember?
Okay, Mahomes struggled against them, but guess what? He won.
Yeah.
Breeze put up 40 on him.
Yeah, and lost.
He lost, but he put up 40. That's more than 3.
But he lost.
That's more than 3.
He lost.
That's more than 3 points.
But they lost 2, putting up 3.
I want to say the final score of that game was 35-3.
He's still top 10, bro. I mean,
you can't be a top 10 quarterback only putting up 3 points a game.
Why not?
Right. I ain't gonna say 3 points.
Like Brady be doing. Brady won what they won the Super Bowl against the Rams. What was the final score? 10-7.
No,
that's not
it
3.
was
6-3. Well,
no, it wasn't. It was.
It was.
I'll say it was like 17-13.
Oh my God. I think
it was like an ugly score. It was an ugly
that's
score.
what I'm saying, bro.
But that's not 3 in a very big game, like a crucial game. 3 points.
Okay. Playoff game.
I mean,
and like that's been the knock on Kirk Cousins for years.
Oh my God.
He's great against the
top
mediocre
10.
team.
He does what he's supposed to do.
Okay, so I'm finna shoot some quarterbacks here. So you tell me if you're taking the quarterback I give you or if you're taking Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So Dak Prescott.
Come on, bro.
Kirk Cousins, bro.
Oh wow.
That man nice.
Okay,
bro.
okay. Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
You taking Carson Wentz?
Yeah, give me Carson Wentz.
But you're not taking
I lied. No, give me Kirk Cousins. Carson Wentz gonna be hurt by week 3, so it don't really matter.
Oh my God. Okay.
I got questions, bro.
I have a lot. Jared Goff.
Kirk Cousins.
Russell Wilson.
Come on, bro.
Okay, so Lamar Jackson.
Lamar, bro. I said he top 10. Now let's not name top 5. Let's name middle of the range. I wouldn't.
Okay, Tom Brady.
Ooh.
We're just talking about play. We're not gonna factor in your age. Just play.
Just who? Tom Brady.
Okay, Drew Brees. All right, Phillip Rivers.
Kirk Cousins.
Big Ben.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh my God.
All right, Kirk Cousins is right there. He's right below Sam Bradford. No.
In the league no more.
Matthew Stafford. My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Matthew Stafford.
so like Matt Stafford above Kirk Cousins? Or?
Yes.
So you said Matt Stafford top 10? Well, yeah.
Okay, so where's Matt Ryan then?
Matt Ryan, below.
He's below Kirk?
Yes. I'm not a fan, bro.
I don't like the way you're doing this.
Why not?
Oh, you said Matt Ryan's below Kirk Cousins?
Yes.
Can I ask why?
Matt
Can you give me like a
Super
reason
Bowl.
why?
You said a reason why Kirk.
Like,
when
Matt
I
Ryan.
watch Kirk Cousins play, I believe he gonna win every single time I watch him.
You believe he was gonna win
Even when he
for
goes
3 points?
8-8?
Yep, I believe it. He got that swagger, that
bro,
quarterback, that leadership swagger that you need every single time you think you're gonna win the game.
You like that, huh?
Yeah.
You
bro.
like that, huh?
Yeah, bro. I never played with. I'm just playing.
Bro,
I'm just playing. I love you, Chance.
Chance Clowns and Kirk Cousins.
Flowers.
No.
Bro, delete this, bro. Delete this, bro.
We better keep rolling.
This a blooper, bro.
Just so
You
y'all
ain't taking
know.
a chance, though. Don't take a chance.
Bro, stop it.
Just so y'all know, Chance was our quarterback in college, but very Kirk Cousins. Take it how you want.
Did Chance ever put up 3 points a game?
Stop it, bro. What's the next topic, bro? What's the next topic, bro? Oh my god.
Okay, so we didn't talk about Kirk Cousins. The point was we were gonna talk about Dalvin Cook holdout, but it turned into a Kirk Cousins debate because some people just enjoy 8-8. I guess it's aesthetically pleasing, it's balanced. So now we finna talk about one of the wackiest, hardest to predict divisions in football, and that's the NFC East. It seems like every year, like you think the Cowboys or the Eagles are gonna be like that team. I'm sorry, you're a Cowboys fan. You know how they get.
And you didn't take Dak. That's what's crazy.
Oh God, he took Kirk Cousins
that's
over Dak, and that's your franchise quarterback. It makes no sense.
So,
But it's like
so.
it's like every year you think either the Cowboys or the Eagles are gonna be stupid nice.
Yep.
And then they just don't live up to expectations. So we're gonna start out with the New York Giants. So we coming in, New York Giants, they got first year head coach Joe Judge, which I have a lot of questions about because he was the special teams coordinator and wide receiver coach with the Patriots last year. So I'm pretty sure they could have found a much more qualified head coach, especially, Rooney Rule type. It kind of gives me real Rooney Rule vibes. So I'm just going to put that out there because Eric Bieniemy still isn't the head coach. Robert Saleh still isn't the head coach. Like, there are all these quality candidates that aren't getting the opportunities. But anyway, more about Joe Judge. You want to guess what college he coached at in 2008?
No, where was that?
Coached at Birmingham Southern.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. How did that go for them?
He was a linebackers coach. He coached there 1 year and then went to Alabama.
Oh,
So
they
That's
must
a
have
big
had,
step up, though.
all they linebackers had 100 tackles, huh?
I guess. I mean,
gosh.
he must have did his thing. So
That was right around Alabama got good too.
yeah, I think that was like C.J. Moses. Nah, that was too early. I can't think of who was there in like 2009.
That was like right when Florida was still like really good, and then Alabama was trying to catch up with them.
Yeah.
That 2009 period.
So anyway, Joe Judge, the new head coach, the one and only Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
But they went 4-12 last year. They got some bright spots though. They have some bright spots. Rookie quarterback Daniel Jones proved to be a lot better than expected. Of course, Saquon did what he's gonna do, and they had a great emergence of rookie receiver Darius Slayton out of Auburn, who had 8 tutties last year. But the defense had a lot of issues. They were the 5th worst pass defense in terms of yards, and they released Janoris Jenkins, arguably their best corner in Week 13. And they were 3rd worst in takeaways, only creating 16. Also, they have some offensive line issues they need to shore up. They gave up 43 sacks last year, and that's especially concerning when you got a young quarterback. But coming into this season, I think they have some hope. Like, I think they're going to kind of hit an upswing. What do you think?
That schedule is kind of hard.
Yeah?
And so, I don't think they're a worse team, but I don't think they got better necessarily. Their offensive line, they improved in the offensive line a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just not liking that defense. And it's just Daniel Jones is one of them. He's erratic, so he might throw 6 touchdowns. He might throw 3 picks in the game. Who knows what he's gonna do?
What?
Daniel Jones. Who knows what he's
I'm
gonna
just saying he threw 24 tutties and only 12 picks.
Yeah, bro. Who knows, bro? I mean, he was still like very erratic. One game is really good, another game is very average. So it's just, I'm gonna say 3-13, just because I gotta see it to believe it when it comes to the Giants. That's the only thing. I mean, but they're also one of them teams that could be 8-8, 9-7. When they had Eli, they'll sneak into the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not gonna happen this year for the Giants, but
Not at all.
I'm gonna say 3-13. They'll sneak in a couple wins, win 1 or 2 games in the division, 1 outside.
Yeah. And my thing, I just think the Giants are gonna find some success on offense. Because Jason Garrett, he's not a good head coach by any means, but as an offensive coordinator, he's like I think very highly of him as an offensive coordinator. And so when you got like just the offensive weapons around Daniel Jones, I think exactly. That's all you need to know. Saquon. You got Saquon. You got Evan Ingram, who's a walking mismatch. You got the always reliable Golden Tate, and you still got Sterling Shepard. I just see them coming up and gelling this season and becoming not like a great offense, but a formidable offense, like somebody you have to actually game plan for and like plan to play. And to your point about defense, they got a lot of holes, especially on the back end. But I think they're kind of working to address those holes. They bring in James Bradbury, bring in safety Xavier McKinney from Alabama. And I think those are like some good long-term pieces for them to build off of. But the biggest concern to me on that defense is just a lack of pass rushers. Like their leading sack man from last season, he signed a May 5th tender, so who knows what's going to happen. And outside of him, they have no edge pressure.
I mean, bro, we keep the stack. Saquon not top 5 in the division.
Not top 5
in the division.
Not top 5 running back?
Correct.
So hold on. In the division.
You gotta go, bro. First Kirk Cousins top 10, but Saquon not top 5.
No, Saquon not top 5 in the division.
So you taking Zeke?
Yup.
Tony Pollard?
Yup.
Adrian Peterson?
Yup.
And Miles Sanders?
And Darius Geis. And Antonio Gibson.
Over Saquon?
Yes, sir.
Bro, what's wrong with you? Like,
hey, bro, what did you do before you came over here?
Nothing, bro. I woke up, brushed my teeth, ate some cereal.
Bro, have you not seen Saquon play a game?
Huh?
Somebody put some shrooms in your cereal?
Nah, bro. You heard what I heard. You heard what I said. You not top 5.
I think that Cowboy. I know what it is. It's that Cowboys hat.
Nah, you heard
when you
what
put
I
on
said.
the Cowboys hat, it makes you delusional.
He
bro.
not top 5.
Bro,
AP over.
Bro, AP's like 36.
Okay. And he's still gonna get 1,500 this season. I lied. Him and Darius Geis are both gonna get 1,000 yards this season.
Darius Geis gotta stay up.
Okay. Which he will.
Yeah, AP gotta grow.
Same thing happened for Dalvin Cook. Gonna be the same thing that happened for Darius Geis. Watch. He not top 5, bro.
Nobody's gonna believe you, bro. Okay. People are gonna watch this and they gonna say like they gotta be joking. Like this isn't real.
Yeah, bro. Like
everybody knows Saquon is a top 5 back in the NFL.
He top 5 in the division, maybe.
Bro, like,
are you okay?
Yeah, bro.
Have you seen Saquon play?
Yeah.
You seen him like jump over people?
Yup. Saquon Barkley.
We're not talking about Matt Barkley. We're talking about
Saquon Barkley, bro.
with the big thighs.
Yeah, bro. Balls. Yeah, bro. Sure.
Power clean 500.
Anyway, look up to the next team, bro.
But
you tripping though. Like, there's no way. Like, you really believe that. I don't think you believe that.
All right, bro.
Alright, so anyway, we kind of hit on Adrian Peterson and Darius Geis. He predicts both of them rush for 1,000 this year. We're going to have to see. So anyway, we're going to talk about the Redskins. This year, they got a new head coach, Ron Rivera, formerly of the Carolina Panthers. Got rid of Jay Gruden last year. And so anyway, the Redskins, I think their biggest problem is they just lack talent. Like, they got a young quarterback in Dwayne Haskins. They got a young pass catcher in Terry McLaurin. And outside of that, it's just like, what do you have to offer? Like, they got, they drafted Montez Sweat last year too, who I think is going to be very nice, but it's like, they just don't have a whole lot of talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So what do you think about them this upcoming season?
I think they could be one of those teams that's sneaky good.
Yeah.
Just because they have a good defense with Sweat and Chase Young coming off the edges.
And you can't forget about Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. So, I mean, they're going to be one of them teams. If they offense clicks like around mid-season, they can mess around and be 9-7, 10-6, like that easily. It just depends on how they click on the offense. Because the defense is defense. All you got to do is, line them up and play.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, the NFC East plays a hard schedule, bro. So I'm gonna say 3-13.
You just said they.
I mean, they could. I mean, bro, it's one of them things that you gotta see it to believe it. So until I see it, I won't believe it. So I'm gonna say 3-13. But they one of those things that it can fluctuate. Who knows?
All right. So I gotta ask you, how do you feel about Dwayne Haskins? He was one of those quarterbacks drafted in 2019. Him and Daniel Jones.
I've never seen an Ohio State quarterback thrive, bro. Have you?
Like thrive
in the NFL? Have you seen an Ohio State quarterback thrive in the NFL?
Actually, no. But I think Dwayne Haskins has the potential to thrive. But yeah,
I thought a lot of them quarterbacks, Braxton Miller, J.T. Barrett, Troy Smith.
J.T. Barrett didn't even
Joe Burrow was the best Ohio State quarterback when we keep it a stat. If we keep it a stat, bro.
And he didn't even touch the field.
So,
well, Terrell Pryor, he panned out as a receiver.
Yeah, he was solid. I mean, not as a quarterback, but I got to see it to believe it. I mean, he's solid. He might be all right. Who knows? He might have like a Vince Young when he first came in the league type of season.
Well, I'm going to say this. I believe in Dwayne Haskins. I don't think he's the best quarterback out that draft, but I think he's going to be a solid franchise quarterback for them. Like, I just looked to, like, his last 2 games of the season. He threw for 394 yards and 4 tutties, no interceptions against Philadelphia and the Giants. And the game against the Giants, he got hurt with an ankle injury, so he had to leave early. But I just had faith in him. Like, I was able to see steady progression from him when he played. Like, I could see him taking steps to get better. And I also think, like, the Redskins bringing in offensive coordinator Scott Turner is going to be instrumental in him taking that next step. Because you think about what Scott Turner did with Cam in 2018, like helping him develop as a passer.
Yeah,
I think he can take Haskins play to another level. Because even though Haskins isn't a runner, like every quarterback needs to develop more as a passer. But I would also like to add, they got a Memphis guy. They got 2 Memphis guys on the team. So, big shout-outs to them. They got Antonio Gibson, drafted him number 66 overall. And they signed J.J. Johnson, who went to Melrose. They got him undrafted free agent. So I think, I'm going to be tuned in to a lot of Redskins games this year. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see him, especially Antonio Gibson, how they use him.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he's one of them players that he could end up with, sneak around and get, 8 to 10 touchdowns this season just on receiver, running back, maybe a couple returns. But have you never seen the Memphis Tigers play, their special teams is the greatest special teams I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Bro, that game against SMU, he had a kick return touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a rushing touchdown.
Oh,
one of the only players to ever do it. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then Ron Rivera compared him to Christian McCaffrey. He said he's not quite Christian McCaffrey. He's a little bit bigger, but he's got the similar skill set.
Yeah, I mean, he's nice, bro. You got to use him. You draft him that high, you might as well use him.
Exactly. And so I just want to talk about their defense just a little bit. We talk about that front four. They also bring in Chase Young, number 2 overall. What's your outlook for him this season?
Oh, my goodness. Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year?
Rookie of the year. Because, I mean, when you just look at it, the Giants, they O-line, they improved it, but they're not going to block him.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Tyron Smith, he might block him. I mean, he been getting hurt the last couple of seasons, so you really don't know.
Yeah.
Then who's the last team left? The Eagles? They might
Lane Johnson?
I don't know. He getting kind of old, bro.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of who on the other side right now. I think, well, Jason Peters would be on the other side, but he's still unsigned.
Chase Young. And then it was just like, you got to have two good tackles. And on the other side, you got Sweat. So it's just like...
I don't know why you keep disrespecting Ryan Kerrigan. I think it's because he's white.
He nice, too. I mean, don't get me wrong. They hold D-line nice. Like, Chase Young might be lining up in a 3-tech. Who knows, bro?
Chase Young a dog, bro.
It's going to be nasty. It's going to be scary to score on them. You're going to be a lot of quick passing games against the Redskins, so we'll see.
That's what I was going to say. They have the perfectly constructed defense to compete in the NFL. Yeah. They got a solid front four because they also got De'Aaron Payne and the other boy from Alabama in the middle.
Ooh, they got Payne?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And then they back end is stupid nice. They got Kendall Fuller playing the nickel. Ronald Darby on the outside. You know, he kind of questionable. But
never mind.
They also got Fabian Moore on the other side. He's a good young player. Okay. And they got Landon Collins patrolling the back end.
Okay, yeah. That's nice.
So
Ronald Darby, I'm throwing him 15 times a game. I'm throwing at Darby 15. Amari Cooper gonna go stupid. If he don't go stupid, you know, you got Gallup go stupid.
And if he don't go stupid, you got CD Lamb.
Yup.
And if he don't go stupid, you got Sid Wilson. Yes, sir. All right, so we finna flip it over one more time. Now we finna talk about the Eagles. We're gonna say your Cowboys for last. Yeah. I know you've been waiting. Yeah. So anyway, Eagles won the division last year. I'm gonna tell y'all how they did it. They beat the Cowboys in the last game of the season, a must win. And so
it was raining.
It was raining.
That's your excuse, bro. It was muggy there.
That's your excuse for losing to the Eagles.
I mean, bro, it was a weird season altogether, bro. Last season don't count. We in a new season, bro.
You're right, bro.
Zeke gonna come in shape. But anyway,
all right, bro. So anyway, about the Eagles, they have the third best run D in the league, but however, they pass D pretty garbage. You target Jalen Mills with a double move, it's a take. Just go on and chalk it up. Just go on and chalk it up. And then they had a lot of injuries last year, especially on offense. They lost guys like Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson. Whole receiver core got shot. Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson. And they had, like I said, the injuries along the O-line. But I want to start this off by asking you, do you continue to invest in Carson Wentz as your franchise quarterback, considering his injury history?
Yeah. I mean, but I think they did a good job of getting back up with Jalen Hurts. Because he's a proven winner, so at the very worst, he would be like a Todd Rod Taylor or something like that. At the very worst, he would be an average quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think they did a great job drafting. But do I think they'll still be a good team? I think they got worse. I'm not going to say they got better. They'll still be around that 9-7, 10-6, 8-8 range. Now, will they make that next step where they were like a few years back?
Like making it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, or just like being like, in a 12-plus wins range. I don't see that happening.
All right. So what do you think about Carson Wentz? Let me remind you, in 2017, he was the MVP candidate until he tore his ACL against the Rams. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And that was the season, Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. So what do you think about Carson Wentz as a franchise quarterback?
I just think he simply got to stay healthy, but I think that's very hard for him. I don't know why. He's just more injury prone than most other people. Yeah, I'm going to say. So if he stay healthy, I think, he that guy. But, I mean, you give him one more, season-ending injury, it's pretty much wraps. You gotta move on. Yeah.
You think so?
Because, I mean,
how many season injuries has he had, bro? Season-ending injuries. He had, 3?
2017, he had the ACL.
Right.
2018, he had the back injury. In 2019, he played in the playoff game, but he got a concussion from Clowney. And that was the first quarter, I believe.
It's just the same energy y'all keep it for Cam Newton?
But Cam Newton injuries,
all right,
yeah. I get your point.
Yeah, but, I just think, you got a good point right there.
That is a good point.
But, with Cam, bro, it's not, he has, the foot injury, that's what kept him out last year. I think his shoulder's better. I think he's 2 years removed from the shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
So, I think, those are his two major injuries. I don't think those are as inhibitive as the ACL and the back.
Facts.
I
think it's one more injury, bro. You got to move on. That's why I'm standing on it.
But, not even move on. I like how they invested in Jalen Hurts, but you still got to realize they are investing $128 million in him.
Yeah.
Until
they paid him.
Until 2024.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
We might not make it out of 2020, bro. 2024. My gosh. Oh. That's a long.
That is a long time.
That's disgusting, bro. You know he gonna get hurt before that.
Yeah. But they do have a very quality backup with Jalen Hurts now instead of Josh McCown.
Yeah.
I feel like they can afford to maybe not move on, but move on.
And he's durable. That's the thing.
Exactly.
But it's just like, is the coaching style, the Eagles head coach, will he like adapt to Jalen Hurts' style, or would Jalen Hurts have to adapt to how the Eagles play?
I mean, I think it's a very friendly system with Jalen Hurts. You think about he played in Oklahoma this year, very air raid type concept, playing in the Big 12.
Yeah.
He was still able to get mobile, but he wasn't relied upon to be mobile, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you think about his experience at Alabama being a running threat and also like just play action passes, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what the Eagles do now.
Yeah.
Especially like with their, like they use a lot of tight end sets to get Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert involved. And they have a solid running game now with Miles Sanders' explosion last year. So I think it's going to be an easy transition for Jalen Hurts to come in and just pick up on stuff.
This kind of off topic, but rank them real quick. Last 3 Oklahoma quarterbacks: Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. Rank them.
Oh, you gotta go first.
I gotta think. Okay, so both Kyler and Baker got the Heisman, so I'm gonna put them over Jalen Hurts just off rip. Like I think,
real?
Yeah.
But they both had Hollywood. Jalen didn't have Hollywood.
He's had CD.
Not just CD. They had CD and Hollywood, bro. Think about that.
But he had CD. He still had Jaden Hazelwood. Had Theo Weiss. Those were 2 freshmen last year, but they were still solid players. And I mean, I get what you're saying about Hollywood, but I think they were still just as effective.
I'm gonna say give me Kyler's 1. I'm gonna say Jalen Hurts 2 over Baker.
Wait, hold on. We're going like based straight off time in Oklahoma?
No, just who you think is the best player.
The best player, straight up?
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta go Kyler number 1 because he's stupid fast, stupid accurate. I think I still gotta go Baker too.
I'm going Kyler, Jalen, Baker.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I like Jalen, bro.
I like Baker, bro. Like Baker, like I was like before the 2018 draft, I was like he's going number 1. He just got that swagger to him, you know.
Yeah, he got.
I said something about Kirk Cousins. You made fun of me,
but he doesn't have.
But
swagger,
you didn't say.
He drives a minivan, bro.
It don't matter.
You can't have swagger driving a minivan, bro.
You didn't say Baker was top 10 though, bro. That's the difference. You didn't say Baker was top 10.
Because he not. Baker or Kirk Cousins?
It's not a question.
I'm gonna take Kirk.
Yeah, I'm saying you gotta take Kirk, but like.
I'm making sure.
All right, bro. But anyway, back to the Eagles. So they lost. I think their biggest loss this offseason was Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah.
He was, the quarterback of that defense, called everything, the leader in the locker room and on the field. And so, guess how they're going to try to replace him? I just want you to guess. Because it's pretty outrageous if you ask me.
Nah, bro, I don't know, bro.
They're going to move Jalen Mills to safety.
They doing that, bro? Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I guess he can't bite on double moves if he plays at safety, but I feel like he's going to see a slant across the middle and then somebody just going to take off.
Get the top They're going to be bumming that joint all season, bro.
Man.
Because the thing about the Eagles, that safety, like that strong safety, he's got to do everything. Play man coverage, tackle, play the box, and blitz, do all of that. I just don't know.
No, for real, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's going to be I got to watch a couple games.
Okay, so that's their plan moving into next season, though. But they did a lot to improve the defensive secondary regardless. So, they traded for Darius Slay. They signed safety Will Parks from the Broncos. So
that's a good move.
Yeah, and they bring in Nikhil Roby-Coleman from the Rams. So do you think their secondary as a whole got better compared to last year or regressed?
Bro, that secondary was so trash.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing but get better.
That's true.
And so, I mean, that's a good, nice little defense. A nice little secondary right there. Mm-hmm. Nice core group. I mean, then again, it's just, are they going to have time to train and all that with Corona season?
Well, yeah.
Like, being cohesive. Like, you can do everything on film, but until you get out there on the field and actually see the different plays, then it's a whole different story.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, we'll see.
All right, so what did you have the Eagles going this season?
I had them going 9-7 again.
So you got the Cowboys winning the division?
Of course. I mean,
well, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, the Eagles gonna win the division this year.
What makes you say that?
I think this year they've got receiver depth, so you don't have Greg Ward and Arcega-Whiteside and Nelson Aguilar as your starting receivers.
Yeah.
So they go out, they get Marquise Goodwin from the 49ers. They get Jalen Reagor, 21 overall, who's just a speed demon. He's going to take over. He's a obvious improvement over Nelson Aguilar, in my opinion. And then they get Quez Watkins from Southern Miss, another speedster.
Quez Watkins.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so I think, especially on the offensive side of the ball, they improved. And on the defensive side of the ball, I think their biggest problem was their secondary, and they took the steps to improve it while also making sure their front four stayed not intact, but I think they made a slight improvement by bringing in Javon Hargrave. So I just think they're a better team, and they're going to be better than the Cowboys this year.
What record is that?
I got them 12-4.
12. What are the 4 losses you got them losing?
I got them losing to the 49ers.
Okay.
Losing to the Ravens.
Okay.
Losing to the Packers and losing to the Cowboys.
To the Packers and splitting with the Cowboys. You got them beating the Saints?
Yeah. It's in Philly.
You got them beating the Cardinals at Arizona?
Yeah. I mean, the Cardinals can't go 16-0.
You got them beating. You had them losing to the 49ers, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I think they lose to the Rams. I think they lose to the Browns.
That's pushing it.
How much number?
I think they lose to the Seahawks.
That's what I said. I do agree with that.
I mean, 9-7. I mean, who knows, bro? I mean, I was kind of biased. I had them losing to the Cowboys twice, so that's not biased. That's just how I feel, bro.
I mean, like you said, you just got them 9-7. I got them 12-4. It's a 3-game difference.
Yeah, bro.
And in the NFL, anything can happen on any given week, any given Sunday.
True.
So we're gonna move on to the last team in the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys. So you know what? I'm gonna let you start this one off. What you think about the Cowboys?
The best offense in the NFL, straight up. You line it up, they got top 5 player in every position. On offense, they do. Left tackle, top 5.
Top 5 quarterback.
Yes. I know what I said earlier. I'll take Kirk Cousins. I was just playing. Give me that. Give me that Prescott, bro. What are you talking about, man? Pay my man, bro.
God, bro.
And that is a very key point. They got to pay him by July 15th.
Yeah.
So, where do you have Dak among the top 5? Like, where is he at?
I gotta hear this.
You got Mahomes. You got Lamar.
Yeah.
Russ.
Okay.
I mean, he's right there with Aaron Rodgers, bro.
So, Breeze and Brady not in your top 5?
Not anymore, no.
Kirk Cousins? You said Kirk Cousins top 10.
I mean, he's right there. All right, so,
Top 25.
I just named 3 off my. I just named 3 off the top of the head. So Mahomes, Russ, and Lamar. Look, nobody in the AFC. Oh, Deshaun.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So that's 4. Nobody in the AFC. Not Big Ben, though.
I don't think he's squeezing right
Not
now.
AFC East. I mean, name somebody, bro. I mean, y'all said Breeze.
I think
I'm taking Breeze over that.
if I'm putting Dak, comparing him to all the QBs in the league, he top 7, top 5 kind of pushing it. That's how I feel. Because I most definitely taking Mahomes, Wilson, Watson, and Lamar.
Okay.
Those 4 are locks.
Yeah.
I think Breeze is still an elite quarterback, so he's going to be in that top 5. And I think Rodgers and Brady, I know Rodgers is in the top 5. Brady is a question mark to me. But I think Dak is right there at 7.
You know what, bro? Give me Jameis, bro.
Over that. I mean, bro.
I want the gunslinger, bro. I don't want somebody that's gonna make the play.
I'm not a hater, bro.
He gonna throw the picks, but he gonna make the plays.
Did you see the stats Dak was putting up last year?
Okay, so
his defense was trash.
That's what I was gonna say. So last season, Dak completed 65% of his passes. That's 13th best in the league. Threw for 4,902 yards, second best in the league. 30 touchdowns, 4th best in the league. 11 interceptions, that's like middle of the pack. 8.2 yards per attempt, which is 6th in the league, and a 99.7 QBR, which is 10th in the league. So he's in the top tier of quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, it just depends on where you put him. And so,
bro, his defense has gotten better though.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Like a lot of the Cowboys' problem last year was really more coaching than anything.
Yeah.
I
Like
can't
Jason,
help but notice that though.
Exactly. Everybody in America knows Jason Garrett was garbage last year. Okay, so Jason Garrett and defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli are out, and so poor coaching decisions, I think led to that 8-8. They had some red zone struggles, had some struggles on defense, especially against the run. But here's an interesting stat I want to throw at you from last year.
Yeah.
They were 2-5 when trailing after the first quarter. They were 0-8 when trailing at halftime.
Yeah. If they started slow, they was gonna lose.
Yeah.
Flat out.
And I think a lot of that comes down to coaching. So anyway, what were you saying about their defense getting better this year?
So, we got the little crackhead, Randy Gregory, coming back. Alden Smith is coming back also. That's a wild card. Alden Smith.
I agree with that.
He comes correct. Then we got signed Gerald McCoy. Dontari Poe, a Memphis guy. We'll see how he comes. He was kind of washed last year, but,
he's still some beef in the middle.
Yeah, that's one of them. We got Tristan Hill coming off the we drafted him, actually. Defensive tackle. He's nice. We're going to have a motor on him. Linebacker core going to be nice as usual with Vander Esch. Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith became one of my favorites to watch last year. He's always around the ball.
Yeah, man.
They be moving, bro. I get to them. Vander Esch and Smith.
The question mark is how is a Woozier going to come? So if he's like, top 15 corner, doing what he's supposed to do, doing his thing, the Cowboys going to be up there in Super Bowl contention. Now, if he's like a handicap player, they just keep abusing the targets towards him, we'll see. Because I like Clinton Dix and Xavier Woods. They going to do their thing.
Yeah. And
then we got Trevon Diggs.
That's what I was corner. That's what I was going to say. You going to slide Diggs in as the other starter? Or?
You got to, bro. I mean, Jordan Lewis is nice, too. So
oh, yeah.
You just got to see. One of them going to play the nickel, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think Lewis probably going to play that nickel spot. Because that's kind of what he's been doing, especially last season.
But the Cowboys, I like their first and second units on the defensive line.
Oh, yeah.
Linebackers, it's always been kind of thin. Like, if one of them gets hurt. Like, I remember 2 years ago, Sean Lee just kept getting hurt, and every time he was hurt, our defense was trash. Yeah. But when he played, our defense knew exactly what to do, and they played like a top unit.
And I was going to say, I give it up to Sean Lee because Vander Esch missed a few games this year, and Sean Lee stepped in and kind of helped shore that second level up.
You got he a player coach. He the Udonis Haslam of the NFL.
Big facts.
Very interesting person.
But I mean, we'll see. It's just that secondary. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The pass rush gonna be better. It's the secondary.
Is the pass rush really gonna be better?
Yes.
DeMarcus Lawrence had 5 sacks last year, bro.
Yes, but he gets help now. Like last year, he was getting double teamed.
Wait, hold on. Y'all had Robert Quinn last year. He had 11 sacks.
Exactly. So Robert Quinn was getting the one-on-ones, and Lawrence was getting double teams on the other side. And so now you gotta give one-on-ones to everybody. Somebody gonna get double teamed, but the one-on-ones gonna go to everybody else.
I just don't know, bro. Like I get what you. Yeah, Dontari Poe is gonna eat up.
Gerald McCoy gonna eat too, though.
I mean, I'm just saying Dontari Poe gonna eat the blockers. Like, he's somebody gonna have to put more than one body on just because of how big he is.
What about Alden Smith, though?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I totally forgot about Alden Smith coming back. Like, he's an impact player.
Oh.
With an ugly face mask, but he's an impact player.
We ain't seen him play in, 5 years,
yeah.
though?
You just gotta see what you get out of it.
But I think he might come back heat, though.
Yeah, because
he might come back
crazy.
Right. I think he'll come back right.
Yeah, but going on predictions, Cowboys got the best wide receiver core in the league.
I think.
My man, what you got?
I think they got the most explosive offense in the league.
Oh,
you can't. It's hard to.
Well, hold on.
I know it's Pat Mahomes. I know it's Pat Mahomes.
Most explosive,
bro. But like,
it's Chiefs, Ravens,
it's
Cowboys.
Dak Prescott, but like, just look at everyone around him.
I mean, I love Amari Cooper. He a route running machine. Like, any route in the book, Cooper gonna run it and get open. Gallup, he's a deep threat. He also has a 9.7% drop rate, but we're not gonna talk about that. And then they bring in CD Lamb with the number 17 overall pick, and I think he's the best receiver in this year's class. He wasn't the first receiver drafted, but I most definitely think he's gonna have the best career out of all of them.
He top 2 definitely, but Jerry Jeudy oh my gosh, bro, that man is a demon, bro. Jerry
Jeudy built different. It's between them two though.
Exactly. I definitely think CD and Jerry Jeudy top 2, but when I see CD Lamb, I just see a true number 1 receiver. Okay. Any route in the book, he can run it, get open, and he doesn't have like the that Jerry Jeudy has, but I still think he's like just like his whole game is just solid.
Yeah, he's beyond fundamentally sound.
And he got them stickies.
Best offense in the league. Top three. Top three.
Yeah, I agree. Top 3 offense. But the defense is going to be a real sticking point.
I hate to say
he
it, bro.
mention the backs though, bro.
Oh,
You got Zeke, Tony Pollard,
TP he's another wild card.
He stepped up last week. They was winning without Zeke when he was starting them first 3 games.
Exactly, because he had like some of them. I think he had like two of their most explosive plays on the season. He had like a busted out like a 50-yard run.
Yeah, bro.
And something else.
Memphis skill player, don't forget it.
Running back,
really.
Because you got, bro, like, just talking about Memphis as running back, we put Darrell Henderson in the league, Tony Pollard in the league, and Antonio Gibson just got in, D'Angelo Williams some years ago. Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking about.
Said who's producing the best running backs in the last 5 NFL drafts. Memphis is tied for 4th with the most running backs drafted in the last NFL drafts, behind Alabama, Georgia, and LSU, who all they do is run the ball.
Exactly.
So it's just Memphis nice. They built like that. I love Memphis, bro. Watching Memphis football makes my day, bro.
Hey, big facts, bro. Memphis football is definitely up there.
But for the Cowboys, I'm going to go ahead and say 16 and I'm just playing 13.
Whoa.
13 and 3.
I was
about to say, everybody in America knows, every Cowboy fan says, we're going 16-0 this year, we're winning the Super Bowl, and we're going to do it again next year. Do any of those?
Y'all be believing it until we actually.
Nobody believes it,
bro. We going
Nobody
13 and 3.
All right, so he got him 13-3, but I got to ask you one question.
Yeah.
How do y'all address losing center Travis Frederick?
We got a guy in the draft.
Oh yeah.
He got injured. Tyler Beanz.
Yeah.
So you built like that.
So you think he'll step in day one? And
he doesn't have to. That's the thing. Because we could slide Joe Looney over. And then we still got Collins.
Yeah.
So you can slide Joe Looney over to center until Beanz is ready. He got injured last year. So, just get him back into playing shape. NFL shape. That's a different shape from college shape. So he really could redshirt this year if need be. But we still got Zach Williams and Connor Williams also. So, the offensive line going to be fine.
I believe. And like y'all said, I think it's going to be an explosive offense. I got them going 11-5. I got them losing the division to the Eagles, but I still think they're going to get into the playoffs with a wild card spot. And I think, especially with bringing Kellen Moore back as the offensive coordinator, having some continuity on that offense, I think it could be real scary. So what you think, Beanz?
I'm looking at your list right here, and I don't see them losing to the Falcons. But that's the only game I think is really my difference between yours. So I say 12-4.
I just think, bro.
So that would tie the division right there, though. So something had to happen.
I agree. I think this is most definitely a 2-team race in the division. Either the Eagles or the Cowboys going to win. And to be honest, either one of them could have winning records or any one of them could have mediocre records, as we saw last year. Yeah. Last year, the Eagles won with a 9-7 record. So I just think if the Cowboys come out and live up to their expectations,
yeah, exactly,
they could be a very good team.
But it's just also the Redskins or the Giants very easily could have a winning record also. I mean,
not very easily, but
when you look at the rosters, bro, it's built to win now.
Yeah. Because, I will say, both the Redskins and the Giants have invested in pieces to surround their young future quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And so, their only problem is just that they're the youth. The youth and new regimes.
They got the potential. It's there. It's seriously there. It's just when is it going to happen?
Yeah. And to be honest, I feel like the Giants are closer in terms of, players, in terms of talent on the team.
Than the Redskins?
Yeah.
No.
Saquon Barkley.
Especially offensive talent. Stop. I think they're a little lacking on defense still, but, I just, my big thing with the Redskins, I think they're in a better, like I said, I think the Giants have more talent. I just think the Redskins have better coaching, and I'm not going to say a better quarterback, but, just better coaching to help them win those games.
Besides the backfield, where else are the Giants better than the Redskins?
I say they are way better receiver. I still think Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Dwayne Haskins.
I say the backfield, bro.
And I would say also along the O-line. Basically, I think their whole offense.
The Giants' O-line is still very questionable.
But
they made improvements, but
they made improvements. But
they made serious improvements though. You bring in Andrew Thomas from Georgia with number 4 overall. You draft Shane Lemieux from Oregon, 150, and you bring in Cam Fleming to shore up the other tackle spot.
It's better. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely better, but like.
And they invested in Dave Soldier 2 years ago.
But the thing is, they still got a young quarterback that, if we've been honest, truly just ain't learned how to work the pocket yet either, though. So he's going to need a lot of help from his O-line, not just a little, though. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. Like I said, they gave up 43 sacks last year. They gave up 43 sacks last year, but I still think they're an improved unit.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. They're definitely better like that. It's no question.
And then you got to think about the Redskins just traded arguably their best offense. Either Brandon Scherf or Trent Williams was their best offensive lineman. They still got Scherf on the franchise tag. But they traded
Williams coming back?
No, they traded him to the 49ers.
Oh.
That's
a good trade.
It is.
For the 49ers.
Yeah, exactly.
What did they get in return for Trent Williams? You know?
I want to say Marquise Goodwin and some picks.
They got Goodwin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Redskins have Goodwin?
Oh, no, I'm tweet. They just got some picks back. They
only got picks for Trent Williams?
Yeah. A third and
That's an interesting trade.
they got a 3rd round pick in this past year's draft, and they got a 5th round pick in next year's draft. Because, basically in that situation, Trent Williams had all the leverage.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I'm going to leave regardless.
Yeah, it's good for the 49ers. Because I had them dropping off, but now that they got Trent Williams, they might not drop off.
Exactly.
Oh. Okay.
So.
What's your prediction for them? You said 12-4, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're going to hoop, regardless.
16-0.
Yeah, we got
16, yeah. He just said 16-0 again, guys, so I think that's the cue. We finna get him some help. I think we finna send him to Lakeside or something because he kind of been tweaking today.
I know exactly what I'm
top. Yeah.
When January come around, we're going to be looking at this list. I'm going to be laughing at y'all.
All right, so you know what? Before we close it out for real, bold predictions about the NFC East. Players, teams, any bold predictions. Games.
I think Saquon is not a top 3 rusher in the NFC East.
So who's going to outrush him?
Zeke.
Okay.
And
Darius guys.
So you really bank
bro,
on
you
Darius
really,
Guice coming
you
back
really
like
pushing that, bro. Like, I don't think
Cook
it's
did
gonna
the same thing, bro.
But Darius Guice had 2 ACL injuries,
Okay,
not one.
So,
bro, you kind of need your ACLs, bro.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I don't know. Somebody from the Eagles.
Miles Sanders.
I don't know. He a receiving back. Don't they got a second back?
Nah,
I feel like they got a second back.
Miles Sanders rushed for 900 last year, and then they got rid of Jordan Howard, and so it's Miles and Boston Scott. Miles Sanders and Boston Scott.
Miles Sanders would get more than Saquon. Total yards, not rushing yards.
Okay.
Total yards.
I agree with that. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Saquon kind of just built different, bro. Like,
Because
you
Saquon is
sleeping
also.
on him, bro.
I will say they did bring in Deion Lewis, but Saquon is still a very capable receiving back.
They got Deion Lewis.
Yeah.
Yuck. I mean, bro, I don't know.
Hey, Deion Lewis is just a third down receiving back.
Exactly.
That's what he do. That's what he built for.
That's how he make his
Yeah,
money.
give me Miles Sanders, Ezekiel Elliott, and Darius Guice.
So all 3 running backs in the division gonna outrush Saquon or outgain Saquon because you're talking about total yards.
Correct.
All right.
Total yards.
You know what, bro? It's your bold prediction, so I'm gonna let you have it. Y'all heard it here first. He said it, not me.
I think I got one more.
Oh wow.
Besides the Cowboys, nobody else would have a 1,000-yard receiver.
Nobody else?
Nobody else on
In
the
the
other 3
division?
teams. Yeah.
You sure about that?
Maybe somebody for the Eagles.
I mean, I'm just saying. Terry McLaurin had.
I ain't trying to hear that, bro.
Terry McLaurin had.
The beginner's luck.
He had over 800 yards last season, and he missed 2 games.
Beginner's luck, bro.
You can't throw
And so you also, you don't think any of the Eagles receivers will go for 1,000? You don't think
Maybe.
You don't think Deshaun Jackson go for 1,000? Alshon Jeffrey,
I say rack them up, bro.
Jalen Rager.
Deshaun Jackson.
No.
Wait, you talking about straight receivers?
Yeah.
So like Evan Ingram and Zach Ertz don't count,
They could get 1,000.
but it won't count to you as bold prediction. Are you talking
Yeah,
about
it
straight
will.
receivers?
I don't think anybody else would get 1,000 yards receiving. On any of the other teams. They might be getting 800, 900, 700. They won't get 1,000.
All right.
And I think the Cowboys.
So who do you have getting 1,000 on the Cowboys?
I mean, Gallup
CD,
and Cooper had 1,000
CD and
last.
Coop.
Yeah, but I mean, you adding CD now. So.
Yeah, that is gonna take away.
CD and Coop.
I'm gonna say
I
you
think
got
that
more
would-
people to throw the ball to now. So like it's taking away targets from.
I mean, bro, just think about how McCarthy plays or how he would call plays.
Yeah.
I think Gallup would hit like the 800. Coop and CD would both get around that 1,200,
But like
1,300 mark.
you saying that also like they not finna run the ball.
They
Oh,
not,
right.
bro.
Bro, you have Zeke in the backfield, you have Tony Pollard in the backfield. You're
And
gonna
then
hand the
you
ball
have
off somebody,
Mike
bro.
McCarthy calling the plays.
But you're still gonna hand
that's
the
what I
ball
was
off somebody.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Mike McCarthy has never been like a big run guy. Like when
Yeah.
he was there, they had Eddie Lacy,
So
Cedric Benson. They had guys like that.
I agree with you, but you're literally saying though, like, oh, we got Zeke, but we're not gonna use him.
I think
They
that
didn't use him last year.
he still hit 1,000.
That's what
I
I'm
know,
saying.
but it's
When
just
he
'cause
was
that
used, he
cold.
was very like beneficial. So like,
Exactly.
I don't see him saying like we gonna limit his rushes, his touches.
We gonna see how it just depends on how Mike McCarthy run his team.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
true. So it's up to change.
Yeah, exactly, bro. These are your bold predictions. We gonna let you have. Beans, you got any bold predictions?
I'm thinking, bro. I'm thinking.
I guess I'm gonna go with my bold prediction. My bold prediction: Ron Rivera wins Coach of the Year next year. That's my bold prediction. I think he rights the ship in Washington, puts them on the right path, and just shows everybody like
It's possible.
exactly.
Very much so possible.
Well, I guess my prediction ain't just crazy bold, bro, but I think Dwayne Haskins gonna have a great year.
Great. I like.
Bro, it's
I
possible.
don't know what his numbers gonna look like. I really don't, to be honest with you, bro. But I think he has a really good season.
You just gotta see it.
You think he proves himself as a franchise quarterback?
Definitely.
I like it, bro. I like.
It's
I
not
support
crazy.
you
It's
on
not
that.
crazy bold, but it's like,
I mean, he went
I
to
think
Ohio
it's gonna
State, so
happen.
it's pretty bold, bro.
come on, bro. He's gonna be the one that changes.
We
it, bro.
found out that Ohio State receivers make their quarterbacks. That's what we found out. I don't know. Maybe I might be wrong, bro. Maybe I'm lying.
But maybe he don't want to change it, bro. That's
All
what
I'm
I'm
gonna say
saying.
is the only Ohio State receiver to come in and just go stupid, even though he's not that cold, is Mike Thomas.
Oh my gosh, bro.
The only one.
All right, bro.
Think
That's
about,
all they needed.
Think about like Devin Smith. He came
Yeah.
into the league flamed out.
Yeah. So what makes Ohio State cold? You know, we're gonna say that for another topic, bro. What makes Ohio State cold? So cold. Maybe because they in the Big Ten.
I was about to say it's their defense. I think their defense is what makes them
Yeah, they DBs. They
DBs
D-line.
and front four. Yeah.
Can't argue that.
And then they be up in the Big Ten. They have to win. All they gotta do is score 21 points. They win the game.
Exactly. Because you remember what happened when Baker Mayfield went up to Ohio State and planted the flag. So that's that. So we finna wrap this episode up. Had our special guest Beanz come in and join with us. So y'all be